So I'm going to say this since no other parent is saying it. And I'm definitely qualified because I have 5 children. I have 2 sets of twins and a teenager. I'm a parent who does not buy school supplies.
The reason nobody's saying it is because the rest of us are buying our kids' school supplies. And apparently we're buying your kids' school supplies too. Like, are we still debating this? It's 2025. I thought we were all in agreement that if these people are going to be watching our kids for 8 hours a day, we're going to buy them whatever they need. If my daughter's teacher needs gas money to get to the school so that she can teach my daughter, baby, meet me at the gas station and I will fill your car up. That's how much I don't play about these teachers and what they do for us and for our children. Like, not having the money to buy the extra school supplies, that's one thing. But just being on here to complain just to complain. Okay, look, I complain. When I'm in Target putting all the stuff in my car, I'm complaining as I'm doing it. But I'm doing it. Complaining just makes me feel better in the moment. But I 1000% understand why they need what they need. Our children getting the most out of their education, it starts with us supporting the educator. So to all the teachers out there, we see you, we love you, we
All right, here we go. So the topic right now, back to school. A lot of these moms saying they can't afford school supplies. I don't know exactly what that's about. And I will also say shout out to my mama. I ain't never got school supplies in my life. So it's all new. I'd be like, what do they need? My mama, hell, I don't even think we had a book bag. She just said, go to school, ninja. Figure it out.
Yeah, that's facts. Yeah. Yeah, y'all won't feel sorry for somebody, feel sorry for us. Yeah, same. Like, this is one of those shocks that comes with us reform street dudes. Like, I'm sitting here and back to school, and you know what I'm saying? They like, my shout out to my mother-in-law, getting shoes and stuff. And I'm like, I got to catch up. It's just not something that's on my mind because it's not something I experience.
Well,
So
you know
like,
what? We would get a pair of shoes, but we ain't get no school supplies or no school shopping. We would get a pair of shoes, though, like 60, 70 bucks, something. Me and my brother would get a pair of shoes. Never been school shopping. That was never a thing. I remember some of my friends used to go, they go, hey, I got 20 pair of jeans, got all this stuff for school. I'd be like, listen here, we gonna make it work, baby. We got what we had last year and probably the year before.
That's how I learned how to wash clothes. Yeah, you got to keep your stuff clean. But now, today, yeah, I was in the gym earlier today, and it came on the radio, and it said that in PA, where we stay, PA has the highest out-of-pocket cost for teachers of all the other states. So it's bad. But with that being said, like, me and my wife, we are pretty active with our kids in school and stuff. We do stuff after school, help with the kids, little stuff. And so, and we got a relationship with the teachers, and they're awesome. We got all pretty awesome teachers. So, they need school supplies and stuff. And like I said, different perspective. Me and Miss X grew up poor, and we realized that, some of that extra stuff is for those poor kids. That was me. So that's my perspective. I'm going to give because I'm essentially giving to low impoverished Willie as well. So that's my perspective. But if you ain't got it, just say you ain't got it. Don't say it's wrong. Say you ain't got it.
So yeah, we talked about, I'll let you go, Ebony, about the school supply thing, not to have money. A lot of places is giving this away. And what are we talking about? Pencils and notebooks and glue? What are we talking about? Are we talking about laptops and tablets? What is a school supply?
Well, normally it's like calculators, it's crayons, markers, scissors, rulers, glue sticks.
Give me a dollar amount. Let's round that up.
200 or more.
Tissue, Lysol. But you could get all of those things from Amazon if you were going to be planning ahead, and you could probably get them for like everything, including your scientific calculator. If your kid is in high school, probably for like $125.
But we talking about elementary.
The basics, no name brand.
About high school, or most of these parents are of young kids. We talk about young kids.
Yeah, so they complain about the Kleenex and the hand wipes and the sanitizer.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about?
What's the dollar amount? Like I said, is that more than
$100? $100
every weekend, spending hundreds of dollars. Ain't nobody trying to hear that.
So thank you. So what you telling me, like, shout out to Ms. Raquel, there you go. So we're looking at about $100. Let's call it $250. You telling me your child's education ain't worth $250 for that year? It's about $100. Yeah, for real. It ain't even that. It's about 60. It's like $60. Yeah, they're a Dollar Tree. You can go to Dollar Tree and get all this stuff. Got to be for under $50. But
and let's be clear. All the parents out there, if you signed your kids up for football, if you signed your daughter up for cheer, and you done pay hundreds of dollars for these extracurricular activities, and you didn't buy them school supplies, shame on you. Don't nobody feel bad for people. You know, that don't even make sense. Why would you pay hundreds of dollars for sports and activities, but you say I can't buy a glue stick and a pencil?
Priorities. Yeah, it ain't nobody in the classroom when little nug failing this test, cheering or booing. But when they out there, Friday night lights, my baby, and the crowd is lit and the thoughts is out, yeah, I'm going to pay for that. Priorities. They don't care about their kids.
Well, and there's a lot of places, I'm sure you guys are familiar, there's celebrities, local celebrities, and there's churches, and there's people that do back to school drives. They're giving out backpacks full of supplies, but you just have to tap into some of those outlets if you need assistance with the school supplies. But I will say one year I had bought all the materials and all the school supplies for my son's school, and like a month later, he asked me, he was like, Mom, I need more supplies. And come to find out, it's because bonquishes like this are not doing their part. And I was continuing to have to keep giving supplies. And I kind of made me irritated, but I just, like you said, Mr. Walker, like maybe, you know, they just don't have the money and I'll keep helping out because I don't want my son to go without. But what I did start doing too is putting his name on everything that I bought. So all the notebooks and the markers and all that with the Sharpie, I would put his name. So don't be giving mine away. Let him have his supplies that he needs for the year. So
that part.
There you go.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, and may God bless you with a room full of parents who buy the damn school supplies.
My kids' list got 4 boxes of Kleenexes. Imagine every single kid in a classroom of 20 bring 4 boxes of Kleenexes on top of the Lysol spray and wipes.
Ain't no way we on this app arguing about some fucking school supplies. Now this whole summer y'all been singing that Lotto song, Brokey, and now all of a sudden 4 Kleenex boxes, a pack of pens, a pack of pencils is a problem. And let's not forget when y'all had that Don Julio bottles on y'all head. Talking about some Don. Should have been buying some Don dish soap for your kids. And then y'all like, well, they want 4 packs of pens, and I'm just gonna buy 1 pack for my son and my daughter because these teachers, they keeping the pens.
That's just too much. You see what I'm saying? Pens and Kleenex. I think people are just doing this for clout. They have to be trolling. There's no way, bonquishes, because they can go down to a Salvation Army or somewhere and get this stuff for free. They don't even have to pay for most of this stuff, so it's capped. A lot of these back-to-school drives, they're giving away book bags full of stuff. It's all there. They just lazy. They either lazy and don't want to go get the stuff. They got too much pride, you know.
They don't care. I'm sitting here reflecting on myself as a parent with 4 kids, and we in the thick of it. So I'm sitting here like, what's gonna stop me and my family from not meeting that list, whatever that $50, $60 list? It's simply if we didn't have it. Why are we so quick to do it? Because we prioritize children in our home. We believe that children are the future. Shout out to Michael Jackson. We do, and we act accordingly. Whatever the kids need to better themselves, we bout that.
Yeah.
Don't care. Like, yeah, the kids are first. I don't know how we got to this point in society, like, hence the title of the show, self-destruction. Self-destruction is not putting into these kids like $60.
And that's what we talk about, breaking generational curses. Like you say, even though we grew up poor and ignorant, we don't treat our kids the same. All right. They get all of that. Like you say, I just didn't grow up. I don't know what a school supply is. You went to school, you found the pencil, you took the pencil from the teacher will have pencils. Hey, who ain't got a pencil? Me. Who ain't got a notebook? Me. All right. So they set you up right there.
Yeah, they knew they know who the poor students were. Same.
Oh, it's most people who ain't got a pencil. About 20 hands went up. A lot of poor folk.
See who I think.
If you showed up to school with a book bag and a lunchbox, you got beat up. You can't show up with supplies, glue sticks. That ninja got a glue stick. Stomp them out.
That's why my son doesn't go to
Yeah.
school. Yeah, that's exactly right. Because his mama's sending him with extra supplies.
See, that's why I gotta tell my son. See, and this is the beauty of it. Like I'm like, son, this is how you gotta move. Because I know how the little impoverished kids is looking at you, because I know how I was looking at you. So I tell them how to move, like, hey man, keep your glue sticks to yourself, man. Tuck them glue sticks. When you see Elijah Wan with the fresh J's on, smell like his mama's Reggie coming down the hallway, tuck your glue sticks, son. All right, tuck your glue sticks, and if things get out of hand, do what daddy showed you.
So I didn't send my son to school with a whole bunch of supplies because he's in high school now, and it just doesn't look cool walking in with a box full of supplies. So I sent him in there, and all his teachers got $25 gift cards so that they could go and buy the supplies that they wanted. But the teachers were super savvy this year. They had those QR codes, on all the papers, and most of their supply list was linked to Amazon. So that's why I said you could find a lot of things because they were thoughtful enough to pick the items that weren't pricey. So that if you had a budget, you wouldn't feel like you couldn't get everything because they had already pre-picked those things that were cheapest for you. So, yeah, but this is also the problem with school uniforms because people tend to think that school uniforms mask the haves versus the have-not,
Yeah.
and they actually amplify the haves and the have-nots because the haves have 10 uniform shirts. Their shirts are going to stay the same color all year. They're not going to fade. They're not going to get holes. They're not going to so and so and so. But for the kids that can only get one shirt, one pair of pants, those shirts are going to be discolored by the middle of the year. Those shirts are going to be holey by the end of the year. And it still amplifies this thing that we're seeing here where the parents aren't thoughtful enough to think, let me get my son another shirt. If it's not provided to them, then they're not going to buy the extra shirt when his shirt starts to fade.
You
So
know what?
it's like,
Yeah.
You're right. It's
yeah.
not even that they're not thoughtful, though. They are thinking. They're just not thinking about the kids. But you're right.
Selling these pens out their back door. I can already see it. These parent-teacher conferences gonna be crazy this year.
That's if they even show up, because unless somebody's tossing free bundles and wigs at their heads, good luck getting any parental participation. Yeah, it's that time of year again, after hot girl summer, blowing thousands on weave, vacations, hookah, concerts, and dinners. They're settling all over social media, complaining about a school supply list, mad at teachers for asking for, quote, too much, talking about my son don't need no tissue or disinfectant spray. Like, girl, quit playing. Your crump snatcher sons and daughters absolutely need the tissue and the Lysol. Complaining about a box of crayons and markers when you have no issue dropping money on eyelashes and baby hairs? That's crazy work. It's giving broke with priorities completely out of order. If you can't afford school supplies, like the first lady in that clip, why are you even laid up having kids anyway? I don't get it. It's always the brokest ones who don't have no money and can't even take care of themselves stay pushing out babies from men they claim they don't want or who clearly don't want them. Then on top of that, they have the nerve to blame the teacher, like the teacher made the baby. Let's be real. If the pandemic taught us anything, it's that these flamingos hate their own kids. Don't let them fool you. They were losing their minds when forced to be a real active parent when all the schools shut down. Don't think we forgot. So y'all better stop playing with these teachers before they all quit and leave you at home to raise your own bad behind bastards.
What the make you think your kid don't use the tissues at school? Like, that don't make sense. Y'all don't hear complaining about school supplies. Oh, my son don't need wipes, and why am I buying markers for that? They need them. What the you gonna send them up to school without all that? Y'all always listen, I'm gonna get on here complaining, but y'all complaining about the wrong bro.
Y'all really are. Listen here. Do they need crayons and stuff? Yeah, not even that though. I would say the school got most of this stuff, in my opinion, and especially tissue. They got a shirt on. Wipe it on your sleeve. Hell, your sleeve is your first tissue. Am I wrong? So tissue and all this stuff unnecessary. Just go learn something and blow your nose on your shirt.
No, please don't do that. It's so disgusting. I hate when my kids do that. Nasty mess. You want to touch somebody. Use some goddamn tissue, man. You know, the problem is we have gotten way too far away from structure. Who are the first teachers? The parents. It starts at home. But today's single moms by choice and females of the like, they have pawned raising their kids off onto these teachers. And we've seen this. Yeah, I ain't buying them no school supplies. They'll say, you the teacher, do your job, having no idea what a teacher or being a teacher all entails. Have no idea, getting emotionally attached to these kids. And then these teachers get attached, grew up. I was that kid, but the moms don't care. For those of you that don't know, there is a large group of women, these bonquishas, they send these kids off to school without a care in the world. They don't care. They ain't looking at report cards. We know because they sit there and they send us stuff like, hey, make sure you see your kids' report cards. Make sure we are so on top of our kids' stuff, but they got to cover their bases for these irresponsible parents. That's how I know when they come up with certain protocols, like this is for irresponsible parents, not us.
Well, I would say nothing ain't changed. That's always been the thing. These parents, most of them, they ain't checking, like you said, homework, grades. But if you walk in the house with bad grades, now you get a whooping. That always blew my mind. It's like, you got to sit here with the kids and do homework, check the grades throughout the 9-week period. Don't just wait till report cards come out, see all E's and D's, and then whoop your children if you didn't pour into them.
There you go.
Yeah, and these schools make it so easy. Nowadays, all you have to do is just click on the app and you type in your login information. It will let you know what assignments your kids are missing, what their current grade is. Everything is updated just by a simple click. So you should know. And we're all parents here, and we all know by the end of the summer, look, I can't wait to send my son back to school. I need my little 6.5 hours to do what I need to do during the day. So as far as these teachers go, whatever y'all need, let me make sure, because you're going to have them for these 6.5 days. And yes, the room needs to be sanitized. It needs to be clean. Kids don't need to be sneezing all over each other with no tissues. Like, you need that stuff because you want the environment to be a clean learning environment for these kids. So,
yes.
Yeah, I would say at this point, I really don't believe in punishing kids for coming home with a bad report card.
Nope.
Yeah. I think that's asinine to sit here. Now you could punish them for failing a test or a quiz, right? You'll hear every step along the way, but don't wait until a report card comes and say, "Oh, you want punishment now?" It's like, what?
Yeah. Thank you, Miss X. I'll give my mom credit for that. Yeah, she couldn't chastise me for my bad grades because she couldn't help me. And she was like you said, what you gonna do? You ain't helping me, so you can't say nothing. You got to eat these F's just like me, mama.
I tell
Send your
my
kids
son,
to school.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, I tell my son, it's up to you to tell me when you need the help. It's up to me to see it, and say, oh, okay, now we need to dial into the tutor, or you need to be staying after school, or I need to be getting you early to school because the school provides tutoring for geometry or chemistry at these times. Let's try that first before I go out and buy the tutor for $280 a month, 2 hours, every other day of the week, so it's like, it really is like you're training your students to be responsible adults, but you have to check in. Like, we're going to do it on Sunday at the dinner table. Mommy is looking at it all week. The portal, Ebony, they call it the teacher student portal or whatever. I check that all week. I'm seeing what he's doing. I'm telling his dad, onesie twosie little things. I probably won't check in on Friday. The teacher will put in some grades tonight. And then on Sunday, we're going to talk about, oh, you got an 80 on your math quiz. What's going on? Like, did you not know something? Was it because you didn't study? Was it because you just guessed? Like, we're going to talk. Like, you have to do that. You
see
really
that right there.
Punishment.
That's so beautiful, Miss. And that's our household. My wife do the same thing. She is on top of that. Most, like you said, she just share little tidbits I need to hear with me from the portal. And that's how you do it. Like Miss X said, you don't sit here and curse it. You sit there and talk about it. Because there you go. This is learning how to be a parent. Because why am I alarmed? You see what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
subscribe to the doctrine that there are no such thing as lazy kids, just lazy parents. That's what I subscribe to. So I'm like, no, like you guys are saying, we're gonna stay on top of this, so it ain't gotta be this yelling. Just like that. Are you guessing? Have a conversation, get to the bottom of it, and let them know if they don't get better, there will be consequences. And you forego the fussing and the capital punishment and crazy stuff that we grew up with.
Yeah, and all the threatening and stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, just stay on top of it,
Yeah.
because all of y'all end up with peace of mind when it's Christmas break, and you can feel good about buying whatever gift they're asking for, because you know they've been working hard for it, or
That
putting
part.
in that extra effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they could fucking learn something. That's y'all problem. How the fuck is you complaining about fucking tissue, bro, tissue, bro? Y'all is out here buying cut waters every fucking weekend. Them is $13 for a pack of four. What the?
You just are complaining about having to buy school supplies for the kids that you decided to have? Cheap. You just are cheap. You would have thought the supplies was like 50 bands or something. Mind you just stay high. Stay with some Julio. Yeah, buy the school supplies and stop being above that. And when there's no more fucking teachers left in the world because y'all keep fucking bullying these teachers over some fucking school supplies you had to buy for somebody else's kid to share, make sure your ass hop in front of that fucking classroom and you teach your own kids your fucking self, because it's about to be no more teachers left in this classroom thanks to y'all fucking selfish ass parents. Y'all so fucking quick to share men, but y'all can't share school supplies with other kids. That school supply list max costs about $25. A lot of kids and parents can't afford to buy their children school supplies.
Nah, that's a personal problem. Every child should be sent to school with their supplies. It should be a requirement, including the supplies that they all stash together and they all use out the same pot. They all have to contribute. Listen, first of all, your kids are in public school anyway, so you didn't even have to pay for them to be there. All the taxpayers in the community are the ones contributing to your children's education already. Yeah, the whole community, specifically the property owners, they're the ones contributing to your child's education. While you're not even paying property taxes, you're getting child rebates or refund checks and won't even invest that child tax credit back into your own children. Instead, you're using it on nonsense and stuff for yourself that you don't even need and can't even afford. So no, I don't want to hear it. If you can afford weave, nails, and alcohol, you can afford to buy pencils, pens, and crayons. Nah, don't nobody want to hear that.
And y'all wonder why teachers are fucking quitting? Y'all realize that a lot of teachers want to quit every single day, but the only reason why they don't quit is because they actually give a fuck about our kids. Teachers already don't get paid shit to begin with. I don't buy school supplies to share with other kids. Do you hear how stupid and fucking selfish y'all sound? These are children. It's a fucking box of pencils that may cost you at max $1.50 at Walmart. A teacher's budget is crazy. A lot of that they have to pay for out their fucking pocket. So if you have to buy an extra sanitizer for the class, who the cares? I have watched parents in classrooms cuss a fucking teacher out, all because the fucking teacher asked their child to put their cell phone away in class. Oh, I bought my child's cell phone. They could be on it. What?
Okay. So the problem is, from my understanding, that the teachers are saying we are done fine and stuff. Y'all have to supplement. You know, now we tried this like coaching. This take me back to my coaching days where, you know, we were coming out of pocket for a lot of stuff. We were volunteering. None of us was paid. You know, we would bring water to practice every day for years. Water, ice, Gatorade. We would go above and beyond doing all type of stuff. And there'll be times when you would say, you know, well, all the parents chip in $5. Y'all can buy the water for the year, you know, but they'd be like, no. And they would not send their kids, you know, to practice with any type of hydration, you know, that was on us. And they didn't want to chip in. They like, no, y'all do it.
Because you know what? Again, you know, we don't realize just how poor and destitute a lot of folks are. We grew up, me and Mrs. grew up in the we don't have McDonald's money era. Yeah, we ain't got McDonald's money. I got McDonald's at home. Now, I don't know what comedian pointed this out, but we was kids back then. We didn't know how much McDonald's was. That was back in the late 90s. McDonald's still had 99-cent menu. They probably had items under 99-cent. And I remember vividly being in the car, going boosting with my mama and saying, hey, can we stop at McDonald's? And ain't happening. You telling me you ain't got $1.50 for 2 little crumb snatchers in the backseat? They ain't got it. They literally don't have it. They don't prioritize it. That $5 that could have went towards that water, Mr. X, easy somewhere else. F that water. I need whatever else.
Yeah.
And the schools, they provide the teachers with like a certain amount of money. I don't know if it's per month or per quarter. And it's a very small amount. I used to work in elementary schools and with preschools and stuff. And so the teachers, they use that money for incentives like, for pizza parties and ice cream parties, at the end of a studying time period or something, or a reading program or something, stickers, like all the things that get your kids to enjoy learning. That's what that money's used for. They don't have the money for the supplies. And a lot of times teachers have to come out of pocket a lot in order to provide for their classrooms. And it's unfortunate and it's so sad because these are our babies here. These teachers need to be covered. And what you can do as a parent, just do your part and get the supplies that your kids need. The schools are already free if they're not in private schools. And I'm sure all these bonquishes complaining their kids are not in any private school. So just do your part, give your kids a chance at learning.
Like I said, they don't care about the babies. And this goes back to my water story. There was actually a tap at the field. So there was water on location, but the water that was coming out of that spigot was not up to, I wouldn't let my dog drink that water. So we trying to explain this to the parents and they wouldn't care. They would say, use it then. Why would we put up money when there's water already at the field? And we like, the water ain't drinkable. We ain't about to make your kids, I would go buy the water, and I did, out of my pocket every day before I let your kids drink that. I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up, Mr. X. How do you know the water wasn't drinkable? I answer that. I work for said water authority. I worked on the pipes. I got pictures in my phone. I assure you 100% it is not something you want to put in your body. He is correct.
What? You couldn't pay me to be a teacher. There is no amount of money in the world that you can pay me to be a mother teacher these days. All that.
Right, it's a thankless job. Not only do we have to put up with the kids not being raised right at home and have to manage all that chaos 30 times over, but you also have to deal with their parents. And let me tell you, the parents are the worst because all the problems you see in those kids, that's where they got it from.
If these teachers decide to say this and y'all kids, a lot of y'all gonna be in motherfucking trouble. For somebody that's gonna have my kid, which is like a second parent, because I'm not there, almost 7-8 hours out the motherfucking day. Girl, you can get whatever, he or she, you can get whatever you want from me. You just complaining about supporting these teachers because of the list they send home. But you gonna go over there and support that same sorry ass nigga that ain't did for you all year. But lay up in your shit, eat your food, dry your car, tear up your motherfucking car. Don't put no gas in your car. Hell, he's riding around in your car. And his friends ride around your car. He made no money in your car. Y'all up here complaining about motherfucking school supplies. Like, you gotta get a grip. The same motherfucking village that y'all sit up here and complain that y'all don't have, when it's time to pitch in, it's a motherfucking problem.
That's because all they want to do is take, which is exactly why you can't build anything with them. They only take and destroy. Super selfish and irresponsible to the core. If they were actually doing what they were supposed to do for their own child, they wouldn't even be online complaining and begging for a village to raise the kid they laid down and made in the first place.
And all this woofing and huffing and motherfucking puffing about school supplies. Homeschool them then. Teach them at home. I guarantee you're going to wish you would have bought them 4 boxes of Kleenex. 4 fucking bottles of hand sanitizer. Y'all got me upset.
You can always tell when it's back to school time here in the United States because you get a certain type of parent that comes on the internet to complain about their child's school supply list. So I see why there is a teacher shortage. Because if what I'm seeing on this app is the same parent that shows up to the school, I can only imagine the behavior your children exhibit at school.
Exactly. We all know where they get the bad, disrespectful behavior from.
Getting on this app trying to shame an underpaid teacher for a school supply list that she deems necessary in order for her to successfully educate your children is crazy. Mind you, y'all probably some of the same parents that will go buy your children $300 pair of sneakers and a $200 backpack and they're illiterate. Will wear those same $300 sneakers to a free school supply giveaway, taking away from a child who really is in need. but yet has the audacity to get on the internet and complain about a school supply list.
Listen here. If your kids got on a pair of $200-300 pair of Jordans or whatever, and they can't read and do math, the parents need to be put in prison. We got to come up with something, because that's negligence. Your kid shouldn't have a Louis belt, right? And all this stuff, the drippiest of the drip, but can't read or, do math. Unacceptable.
So we grew up with it. And one of my core memories, never forget, one of our classmates, straight mongoloid, he had fresh J's on. He said, well, my J's get a crease in them, I don't even wear them no more. Today, pathetic individual living in somebody's basement hoping for food and shelter. Yes. And this is what these moms do to their kids. We watch this stuff happen. The coddled, ignorant, illiterate kid, fresh as heck, sitting in the back of the class, disrupting, can't read the word the. Literally will struggle on the word the. Seen it.
So here we go. As far as all these deadbeat moms, to the sub.
Back to school sub.
The passengers of the doomed Titanic sub spent their last moments in total darkness looking for bioluminescent creatures out of the small window and listening to their favorite music. The new details of the 5 passengers' final moments have been revealed by the wife and mum of the father-son duo.
Wade in the water, diamond, wade in the water. Something's gonna trouble the water. You better wade in the water. Yeah, man.
Yeah, not having McDonald's money is diabolical. If me and my family didn't love our kids enough to allow, them to shove McDonald's down their throat, that would be a financial blessing. My goodness, feed them off of McDonald's, the cheapest thing out there. But our parents didn't have it. Poor as hell.